Tonight on CTV News at 6, patience urged for worried WestJet passengers. What people with plane tickets should do and not do as a strike and lockout loom.
Your rights are different if they preemptively start canceling the flights.
A new local group takes a new provincial approach to opposing Edmonton's infill bylaw.
This is an election issue to us. Whether how the government acts is going to determine voting in Edmonton.
And festivals preparing for the possibility of bad weather.
Doing a festival is a bit like being a juggler, but you're also you're dodging bullets all the time.
Heating up for tomorrow and Saturday, but we're back to the rain on Sunday.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. WestJet is less than 3 days away from a cabin crew strike or lockout if a labor dispute isn't settled. The Alberta-based airline is offering free flight changes or cancellations, and passengers are being told to stay calm. Nariman Issa joins us now from the Edmonton International Airport. Nariman, what does all this mean for WestJet passengers?
Well, Jeff, WestJet passengers could see their flights grounded as early as tomorrow in anticipation of a strike. Now, it is the long weekend, and so the airport will be busy, and rebooking a flight could come with a cost. Now, we did speak with a local travel agent who says that passengers do not need to worry. It was a busy morning at the Edmonton International Airport. With a possible strike looming, passengers are thinking about what will happen when they try to return home.
We've all been stressing out. Group chats are going off, but we've been looking at one-way flights to come home.
So taking it in stride and then kind of crossing the bridge if we have to, but it's definitely been back in my mind.
I think it'll be okay. I'm not going to stress about it.
The union representing 4,400 WestJet cabin crew says the two sides remain far apart on key issues, including unpaid work for before a flight takes off.
I kind of anticipate that there will actually be a walkout on Sunday. And I don't think it'll be very long. One way or another, this is not going to stretch on because WestJet can't afford it.
WestJet is offering free cancellations and one-time changes to all passengers booked between today and August 4th. This travel agent says that might not be your best option.
Your rights are different if they preemptively start canceling the flights, like tomorrow or the next day, where you are entitled to compensation. You're entitled for WestJet to book you on another flight, even if it's with a different airline.
Hyder El-Mace with Travel Gurus says if your flight is not within the next week, don't panic.
If you need to travel, you need to make sure that you have other options. If you don't need to travel, don't cancel anything right now. Just wait, and then later on they'll have even more options of like a full refund, or you may be entitled to further compensation.
If job action were to happen, it would begin just after midnight Sunday. And travel was disrupted last year when Air Canada flight attendants went on strike. The federal government stepped in and ordered them back on the job after just 12 hours. However, the union ignored that order for a few days. Now, when that airline and the union reached a tentative agreement, a deal, it did include some pay for ground work, which we just heard is one of the big contentious issues in these WestJet negotiations. Jeff.
All right, Nariman, thank you. Nariman Issa live at the airport for us tonight. Multiple festivals are preparing for the possibility of rough weather this weekend. That includes Horilac Park, where Heritage Fest setup is well underway. With some recent events canceled because of storms, safety is a top priority. Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports.
There's lots of work to be done to welcome thousands back to Horilac Park for Heritage Fest.
The purpose of our festival is to bring the world together.
That includes an evacuation plan if the weather makes a turn for the worse. The city says if needed, ETS buses will be used to get people out, as the tents aren't suitable for shelter.
Currently in a space like this, we want to take advantage of that runway and make sure that our attendees are getting out in a timely manner, and they have the time to get out safely.
Down in Camrose, emergency plans are also on the minds of Big Valley Jamboree organizers.
Being from Alberta, we know that the weather can take a turn at any point, so there's no real change because it is something that's always on our radar.
Strong winds in 2009 caused the main stage to collapse, killing one person and injuring dozens of others. Today, the festival says preparation is key.
We have an on-site meteorologist who is available to us 24/7, who is monitoring all of the clouds that come in, all of the storm cells, any potential.
Attendees can also subscribe for the festival's text messages so they can get instant alerts. Next weekend, this hill will be filled with thousands of people for Folk Fest.
Doing a festival is a bit like being a juggler, but you're also you're dodging bullets all the time, so you're having to move around.
Producer Terry Wickham says rain before past festivals have taught crews what to look out for.
We're going to protect the ground as much as we can. So one truck came in, we didn't know they were coming in, and then they got stuck.
With festival season well underway, it's a timely reminder to check the forecast and come prepared to enjoy the events, rain or shine. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Police are looking for a shooter connected to a homicide and 2 car fires in West Edmonton. Police were called to a shooting Tuesday afternoon at a business near 112th Ave and 149th Street. Police say an injured man died in hospital. An autopsy confirmed the 39-year-old died of gunshot wounds. His death has been ruled a homicide. Police have released photos of 2 stolen cars used in the shooting, including a gray 2009 Mazda 3. They say it was driven to 213th Street and 108th Ave and set on fire. Police say the shooter then got into a 2007 red Ford Fusion and drove it to Ada Boulevard and 50th Street and also set it on fire. The shooter then ran into the river valley. Police are releasing a picture of a man accused of sexual assault against 2 teenagers because they believe there may be more victims. In March, St. Albert RCMP began investigating Eric Mark Simmons. Police allege the 26-year-old was in contact with a number of people between the ages of 13 and 16 since last fall. Simmons has been charged with 2 counts of sexual assault, sexual interference, and child luring. He's scheduled to be in court tomorrow. A new group in Edmonton is trying a different strategy to push back against infill development. The Infill Action Committee is pressuring the provincial government to step in because its members say the city isn't listening. Jeremy Thompson reports.
The basement units of this West End 8-plex are boarded up. A line of dirt is visible on the windows, the high watermark from flooding earlier this week. It has one Edmontonian questioning the city's drainage standards and enforcement for infill projects.
Is it actually okay? I mean, I think these floods demonstrated that it's not.
Jesse Watson says thousands of Edmontonians are scrutinizing the quality and impact of infill multiplexes. They've been popping up all over mature neighborhoods since the new zoning bylaw took effect in 2024.
It's just we've gone from 0 to 60. And I just don't think we've contemplated all the impacts.
Now he's co-founded a new group to direct all of that energy towards meaningful change. The Infill Action Committee is starting a 3-month letter-writing campaign to 7 provincial ministers who he says have a mandate to bring common issues they hear about from the public to the Premier.
This is an election issue to us. How the government acts is going to determine voting in Edmonton.
The UCP government has already waded into Edmonton's bike lane discussion. It's also crossed jurisdictional lines on issues like photo radar and public safety in recent years.
I think this is an issue that, like most local issues, are best determined by local representation. The provincial government doesn't have any MLAs in Edmonton.
Mayor Andrew Knack has spent large parts of his 13 years on council discussing the ins and outs of infill. Through surveys, door knocking, town halls, public hearings, and election campaigns, he believes the city has considered every angle of infill impacts.
No matter which decision you make, half of the people are going to be on the opposite end of the outcome they desire. That's different than not being heard, right?
Council has made a number of changes responding to feedback, like shrinking the size of infill buildings and adding enforcement officers. Some of those changes kick in August 1st. The Infill Action Committee plans to send 300 to 400 letters on infill to the province per week until October. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A stretch of Jasper Avenue that includes an old movie theater has a new owner. The Paramount block was purchased by Gather Co., a local family-run real estate business. It's known for preserving historic buildings and repurposing them, like the Mercer Warehouse. The block includes the Paramount movie theater, a cafe, and a restaurant. The company's spokesperson says the new owners are excited about the building.
The vision is to restore the Paramount Theatre itself back to being the cultural institution that it once was. And then it's the rest of the block as well. So it's 4 retail bays next to the Paramount. And they were talking to a mix of tenants, retail, hospitality, both cafes and restaurants.
The Paramount Theatre opened in 1952 and closed in 2003. Restoration work is expected to begin this year. Gather Co. hopes to have tenants moving in by next spring. Some people in Edmonton are already preparing for the upcoming school year. A local organization is making sure students will have everything they need. Tutor Teaches' 3rd annual school supply drive was collecting backpacks, pencils, and other school essentials at Victoria Park today. The donations are for children who can't afford all the school supplies they need. Organizers say thousands of supplies have already been donated, and they managed to fill 58 backpacks.
It's knowing that we are anonymously supporting kids. They're just getting these backpacks and they don't have to feel meek or embarrassed or anxious going into the school. They can change the generational tide of their family. They can make a difference in this world. They deserve the same accessibility as every other child next to them and not feel bad about themselves.
Donation boxes will be set up at city-owned facilities like rec centers starting August 3rd until the 28th. Kids who've undergone brain or spinal surgery are getting a chance to experience summer camp. For one of the founders of Camp Everest, the experience this year hits close to home. Amanda Anderson has more.
Laughter and smiles are contagious at Camp Everest, a place where medical conditions don't get in the way of being a kid and having fun.
It is for kids who have had brain or spinal surgery, or those kids who have otherwise not been able to qualify for other camps due to medical conditions.
They have 32 campers and 50 volunteers. Volunteers the kids already know, as many have treated them in hospital.
The opportunity to be able to say, like, I've seen you at your worst, and now I get to see you at your best, is probably like the greatest thing about Camp Everest.
Try the angle.
Yeah! Kids get to take part in a range of activities, even getting the summer camp prank experience.
And they came into our room and started throwing toilet paper everywhere, and the boys wanted to get them back.
They put a canoe in our cabin, so we took the canoe back and put it in their cabin. And then they toilet paper our door.
When Angela Bokenfor co-founded the camp 15 years ago, she had no idea how personal the experience would become. Her 2 nieces, one who suffered a brain injury, the other who has a neurological condition, are campers this year.
It's really fun having her, because then she knows how to take my meds and stuff. My aunt's here. There's so many fun people.
It hits home on a different level because you're like, I mean, I live all 32 kids, but to have 2 of those 32 kids where I'm like, I can see their struggles on the outside of camp and their anxieties.
Okay. But camp has also been a way to see her nieces build confidence and thrive.
Is the biggest gift that could ever have come from starting at Camp Everest 15 years ago.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Isle Lake.
Well, not a bad day for camps. And anything else you wanted to do outside?
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be another really nice day. Saturday's going to be hot. It starts to go a little bit sideways around suppertime Saturday. We'll get to the 5-day forecast later in the newscast. As we alluded to off the top of the newscast, though, it looks pretty soggy for Sunday. 23 degrees downtown Edmonton right now, 21 at Elk Island, 22 Stony Plain. A little bit of a breeze, about 15 kilometers per hour. 24 and 14 will end up as the high and the low for today, so pretty close to average. I think we'll be above average tomorrow. Should get to about 27 tomorrow, and then around 30 on Saturday. In, mainly sunny but possibly hazy conditions. No smoke out there right now as you look through the lens of the CTV drone. We do have a bit of cloud cover, though. That cloud will stick with us, it looks like, through the rest of this evening and overnight tonight. I don't think it'll drop any rain, although there are a couple sprinkles in parts of the province. Cloud cover should clear out of here by tomorrow afternoon. We'll be under some sunshine by tomorrow midday and through the afternoon hours. North of Cold Lake, little shower passing through. A little shower north of Whitecourt. There was even a little sprinkle just north of Onaway, just northwest of Edmonton earlier this afternoon. It'll just be mix of sun and cloud, it looks like, through the rest of the evening hours, and then mostly cloudy to start tomorrow. 14 degrees again in the morning, 27 with some sunshine in the afternoon. A full look at your long weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Great. Thank you, Josh. Still ahead, tributes for 11-year-old Parker Wells are growing in Calgary as some call for change.
Change whatever rules necessary to make sure that somebody goes missing, that there's an alert that goes out.
A movement to create a new alert system for children with disabilities could spark provincial legislation. Also next.
And I don't think they're incompetent as a group, but in this case, I think they were unfair.
Petition pushback. The Water Not Coal petition is headed to court over Elections Alberta's verification methods.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Tributes are growing for an 11-year-old autistic boy who disappeared in Calgary 2 weeks ago. Yesterday, police found the body of Parker Wells. CTV's Tim Brooke reports.
In Lake Hawk Park, not far from where 11-year-old Parker Wells was last seen, a public memorial is growing.
His family's probably going through a lot, and there deserves to be a lot of memories left behind.
It's not just here either. Up the hill, more flowers and teddy bears, and more notes. A testament to the impact Parker had on complete strangers. Many gave countless hours of their summer to an exhaustive, desperate search.
I just feel horrible. I feel like I could have searched the areas better, but...
After leaving his day home July 16th, police say Parker took this route through northwest Calgary and was last spotted here. It's believed he entered a culvert on the west side of Deerfoot Trail. Police say his remains were found on the east side of Deerfoot after he made his way through a maze of tunnels.
We reckon with this devastating news, and we stand with Parker's family as they begin what it has to be an unimaginable journey through grief.
The search and its ending touched so many. Experts urge Calgarians to talk it through with their neighbors who are likely feeling the same way. And parents shouldn't be afraid to explain to their children in simple terms what happened.
Validate their feelings, especially about their own safety. Again, that the uniqueness of the situation was extraordinary, and I think we want to do this in such a way that we don't contribute to the fears that kids may have about their own safety.
The Calgary Police Victim Assistance Support Team was set up Thursday to offer even more help.
Speak to our staff, our volunteers, and of course visit with our trauma dogs, just to get a sense of comfort and hopefully some resources and support as we move through this tragedy.
It's not what anyone was hoping for, but some mourners say a devastating resolution is still better than the unknown.
So there's closure for the family. My heart goes out to them, and I hope that they can go on with life, but at least we know something.
The disappearance of Parker sparked calls for a new alert system for vulnerable children who go missing. The discovery of Parker's body has added more weight to that push. As CTV's Kevin Green reports, the woman who started the petition for Indigo alerts is now getting support from provincial and federal politicians.
The tragic death of Parker Wells has amplified calls for a new alert system for vulnerable people who go missing.
Change needs to happen, and I hate that we had to lose Parker. For it to be so crucially important.
For Jen Ball, Parker's story is personal. She's the mother of a nonverbal autistic boy and has been campaigning since Parker disappeared for an Indigo alert system for children like Parker.
Today we grieve, and today is incredibly heartbreaking and painful. Tomorrow we get back to work because Parker deserves change so that this never happens to anyone else.
Parker's case did not meet the criteria for an Amber Alert because police had no evidence Parker had been abducted. One was issued, but 2 days after he vanished on the request of Calgary Police. There is already a subscription-based system maintained by the Missing Children Society of Canada.
You can use it on your desktop. You can use it on your phone. There's really quick, clear instructions with it, and you just register for alerts.
Ball says it shouldn't be a subscription, it should be a push alert. Federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, whose daughter Valentina is also autistic and nonverbal, is as well calling for stronger protections for autistic children.
Change whatever rules necessary to make sure that somebody goes missing, that there's an alert that goes out, that people know that perhaps the child missing has special needs, and that they can be on the lookout to help and protect that child if they find them.
Poilievre says police need a way to warn the public quickly when a vulnerable child disappears, even when there's no evidence of a crime.
I encourage everyone to get behind this change, and I'm sure that we can do a lot of good.
Ball's petition has now gathered more than 20,000 signatures, and she says her campaign will continue in Parker's memory.
My heart is with you. We are there for you if you need anything. And truly, we will fight for change in Parker's name.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Premier Danielle Smith also addressed the issue on her radio show this past Saturday. She seemed open to making the changes, saying the province will be reviewing the alert system in Alberta to make sure Albertans have effective tools for bringing missing children home. The man who led a petition to stop coal mining in the Alberta Rockies is fighting Elections Alberta's decision to reject it. Cor Blund says he has concerns over how signatures were verified.
We've had a really close look at it and feel like it was procedurally unfair and unreasonable. And basically what they did, I don't think Elections Alberta is in on it with the UCP or anything, but and I don't think they're incompetent as a group, but in this case, I think they were unfair.
Lund has applied for a judicial review in the Court of King's Bench. Lund says more than 200,000 Albertans signed the Water Not Coal petition. He believes Elections Alberta applied standards that were stricter than the law requires. He feels thousands of Albertans were effectively shut out. The petition needed 177,000 verified signatures. Once Elections Alberta went through the petition, it ended up about 5,000 short. Still ahead, an artistic space 20 years in the making.
This project is the next natural step in the evolution of Alberta Avenue.
Alberta Ave that will allow artists to work, live, and play in one place.
Mid-20s tomorrow, upper 20s, close to 30 on Saturday, and then mid-teens, windy, wet on Sunday. All those details after the break.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The process that began nearly 2 decades ago in our city is starting to take shape. Following a council decision last month, Alberta Ave will be getting its long-awaited arts hub. Curtis Goodrum has more on what that means for the area.
A grass canvas on 92nd Street and 118th Avenue could soon be filled. After 18 years, council has given an arts centre the go-ahead.
It's super exciting. You know, there was sort of many start and stops, and this is a start that is going to be seen to the finish.
The Arts on the Ave Edmonton Society say the project will cost around $10 million. Organisers hope to get shovels on the ground within 3 years.
We are crazily writing grants and talking to different sponsors and donors.
Métis Ward Councillor Ashley Salvador says the city put aside more than $3 million for the project. She says this shows the city's commitment and will hopefully entice more investors.
I actually moved a motion to ensure that that funding stays attached to this project and is going to be dedicated to this community.
Salvador says the community has been instrumental in pushing changes forward.
And I think this project is the next natural step in the evolution of Alberta Avenue.
The new building will have 24 2-bedroom units and a 200-person theatre. Local businesses are excited to have a new community space that will hopefully attract customers.
This project is good for here, for under 18, for the business, is okay. I think it's excellent.
All 24 units will have affordable housing status to keep it attainable for artists.
Them just being there and being such creatives is going to just amplify and bring beauty to the neighborhood.
Morin says they'll now start fundraising for the project, opening it up to donations in September. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
Well, a couple days without a storm, not so bad. Just getting used to it.
Don't get used to it. Saturday evening could be a doozy for some severe thunderstorms in parts of the province. We'll get to that in a second. 23 degrees right now, River Valley Sky Camp. Partly cloudy skies in the Edmonton area. A little more cloud than sunshine in most of the city. 26 in Red Deer. It's 25 in Fort McMurray that you hit for a daytime high today. 23 in Grand Prairie. And we thought we'd get to 25. We only got to 24 for a high here in the city. You get some heat warnings still in effect in the southeast and south of Calgary. Some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. That storm is in Saskatchewan now. Hinton, Grand Cache, Jasper, an air quality warning. You know, there may actually be a little bit of smoke or haze that moves into the Edmonton region Saturday. Let's take you through this. There's tomorrow afternoon. Worst is going to be off to the northwest. Again, this isn't a high-risk air quality health index reading in the blues here, but you're probably looking at least moderate risk in that area. And watch the blue zone kind of fill in around the Edmonton area. Yeah, it's probably smokier than it's been for a while here in the Edmonton area. A little hazier here off to the east and southeast. Again, it's probably no worse than about a moderate risk, but some smoke in the air on Saturday. That'll all get flushed out Sunday with all the rain. There's that storm we were talking about a moment ago. No storms here, just a few hit and miss little sprinkles riding along the jet stream, which is now starting to set up just to the north of us. There's an upper ridge. It's going to hold all of that storm track north of us and help to pump in some of that heat over the next couple of days. Could start the day with the thunderstorm in Slave Lake. It gets really scattered tomorrow afternoon in the northeast. Here at Edmonton, after some clouds in the morning, we'll see some sunshine in the afternoon. This is where things really start to get a little exciting. Saturday afternoon, north and northwest of the Edmonton area, you've got some thunderstorms to bubble up. I think the best chance for severe thunderstorms is going to be in this area here through the evening hours on Saturday. No guarantee that we get hit with these storms Saturday, but there's a pretty good chance that they will be rumbling through the area somewhere around supper time or early evening. And then it kind of turns over to more like just some showers or rain overnight and into Sunday morning. And on the backside of this low, everything swings around and starts to come at us out of the north. And so there's more rain that drops through Sunday afternoon. I don't think it's going to rain all day Sunday. It'll kind of be off and on, but it will be windy. Gusts to about 50 or 60 kilometers per hour and cool, high of about 16 or 17. 25 in Fort McMurray right now. It's 23 in Grand Prairie and here in Edmonton, 26 in Red Deer. Temperatures overnight tonight sliding to about 14 degrees. Some clouds to start the day tomorrow, clearing in the afternoon and a high of 27. 29 on Saturday. We'll see what happens with that haze. Risk of thunderstorms in the evening hours and then wet, windy, and a big cool down, 17 on Sunday. Back into the low 20s, it looks like, for Monday and Tuesday. You want to win big this summer and help support the Kaleo Collective and the Bear Children's Fund? All you have to do is go to ctvedmonton.ca, contests page, and get your tickets in the Mega Summer 50-50. There's your 10-day forecast. Next week still looks pretty decent. Most days in the mid to high 20s. Nice and hot for tomorrow and Saturday.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, dozens of soccer nations stand up to FIFA.
UEFA's calculation is that if we boycott ourselves from this tournament, it's not a World Cup. It's like the NBA without the Celtics or the Knicks or the Lakers.
Stiff opposition to a plan to privatize part of the World Cup and... Thousands of migrants storm Spanish territory. Stay with us. The association representing North American soccer federations is rejecting a multi-billion-dollar proposal to sell some of FIFA's interests to private investors. It follows a move by Europe's governing body, which says all of its teams will boycott the World Cup if FIFA continues the plan. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more.
New controversy ahead of the 2030 World Cup. In emergency meetings today, two major governing bodies taking action after FIFA President Gianni Infantino offered each of FIFA's 211-member federations an instant initial $20 million payout if they agree to sell stakes in the World Cup to private investors. Europe's governing soccer body, known as UEFA, voted unanimously to boycott the tournament and any other FIFA events before then. Later in the day, CONCACAF, which oversees North American federations, also held an emergency meeting and rejected the proposal. FIFA says participation would be voluntary and no member would be required to participate.
Strengthening the commercial side of the game is the natural next step in this evolution. So we believe that the FFE proposal would unlock the sport's potential in every corner of the world across men's, women's and youth football.
UEFA's 55 member associations pushing back, releasing a statement saying in part, quote, no UEFA national teams will participate in any FIFA competition for so long as these proposals remain alive, unless this proposal has been abandoned in its entirety and binding assurances have been given that FIFA will never again open its governance or competitions to private ownership.
UEFA's calculation is that if we boycott ourselves from this tournament, it's not a World Cup. It's like the NBA without the Celtics or the Knicks or the Lakers.
The boycott would also cover the Women's World Cup, which is set to hold playoffs in October. UEFA also saying in a statement that the moment external investors acquire ownership interests in FIFA competitions, football changes forever and commercial return becomes a permanent obligation. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Spain is deploying its military to a tiny enclave on the African coast after thousands of migrants stormed the border. People rushed in from Morocco. Some were seen on an inflatable dinghy. Others swam towards the border and broke through a gate to enter the city. At least 9 people have died in the chaos. Some migrants said they'd been in the sea for hours before reaching the shore. Spain recently announced a plan to give around 500,000 undocumented migrants legal status. Russia widened its attacks on Ukraine earlier today, killing at least 8 people and wounding at least 50. Cleanup in this town bordering Poland is underway, with locals and rescue workers searching for survivors. Cities and towns across a wide area of Ukraine targeted by missiles and drones. The intense violence follows reports of a shortage of Ukrainian interceptor missiles. A Russian cruise missile, part of the overnight attack on Ukraine, is believed to have struck Poland over 100 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. The sirens could be heard in the early morning hours in Lublin, southeast of Warsaw. Residents in an eastern town reported a loud explosion and found a crater and debris from a yet-to-be-identified object that the government suspects to be a Russian missile. A drone strike on vessels in Egypt's Mediterranean port of Damietta has signaled a potential new front in the U.S.-Iran war. Egypt says an unidentified drone caused a fire on 2 vessels at the port. It's near the Suez Canal, which links the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. Egyptian officials say no one has claimed responsibility, but measures are being taken to protect Egypt's national security. The attack raises the prospect of threats to shipping through the Suez Canal, a last remaining safe export route for Saudi oil. Drones helped rescue crews get a BC man back to dry land after he became trapped in the Fraser River. It happened earlier this week. Mounties, specialized police units, and a passerby worked together to save the man from the quick-moving water. The coordinated rescue involved a drone dropping him a life jacket before he was pulled onto a police boat and safely brought back to shore. Olympic gymnastics legend Nadia Comaneci is back in Montreal today, returning to the city where she made history 50 years ago.
With her trademark stance seen around the world half a century ago, Nadia Comaneci, nicknamed the Queen of the Montreal Games, returned to mark the 76th Olympics anniversary.
I am here because a 14-year-old decided to do something, 50 years ago. And I'm impressed as an adult right now about the courage that 14-year-old had.
The young gymnast from Romania landed the first perfect 10 in Olympic history on July 18, 1976.
If you listen to the arena, people, you can hear, so I call it the Nadia touch.
The 10 was so unexpected, the scoreboard showed a 1.0. Her husband of more than 30 years now, fellow Olympic champion Bart Connor, who was also competing in Montreal, was sitting in the stands when she performed.
It changed the trajectory of the Olympic movement.
The Games were playing out with the backdrop of boycotts over apartheid, of the Cold War, of massive cost overruns for the host city. Many Montrealers still call the Olympic Stadium the Big O, as in O-W-E.
I think the whole Olympic movement was in trouble. And all of a sudden, some 14-year-old girl comes from Romania and scores a perfect score, which had never been accomplished. And it kind of like reinvigorated what the value of the Olympics again.
Comaneci scored 7 perfect 10s in Montreal, picked up 5 medals and 4 more at the Moscow Olympics in 1980. She defected to the U.S. in 1989, escaping the brutal regime of Nicolae Ceausescu. This June, Comaneci was back in Romania to mark the 50th anniversary of the 76 Olympics, where she's revered by generations. But she's also welcomed as a local hero in Montreal, where her feats sparked a baby boom of women named Nadia in her honor. Now, her visit will be quite busy. She'll be receiving an honorary doctorate. There's a plaque unveiling and that parade of the women named Nadia. All that within 3 days. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Still ahead, an Alberta author making waves across the pond.
I haven't spread the word very much that I'm local and an international bestseller.
Details on her return to her roots for a book signing and her next reimagined fairy tale. Taking a look at the markets, the Canadian dollar rising again, trading a little over 71 cents U.S. Oil was down 87 cents, trading around $83 a barrel. Gold saw a $63 bump. On the stock market, the TSX is up 172 points, the Dow 613 on the day. Statistics Canada says the country's employment rate increased by 1% in May, meaning 24,000 more Canadians were working. Year over year, payroll employment was up by more than 112,000, an increase of less than 1%. Statistics Canada figures show average weekly earnings were also up by 3.4% year over year. Job vacancies changed little from April, marking the 5th consecutive month without much change. Canada's International Trade Minister has launched a new office to help Canadian companies secure global technology contracts.
Canada has many cards to play and will continue to negotiate at the table, led by Minister LeBlanc and the U.S. team. At the same time, my focus is diversification to expand into new markets around the world, sign new free trade agreements so our businesses can have preferential access. And so the focus is, yes, of course, the U.S. is important, but also the rest of the world, we need to focus on that as well.
Canadian aerospace, defense, and space technology companies are eligible for supports from the new Strategic Exports Office. The office aims to accelerate approvals, facilitate deals, and provide business advice to Canadian technology contractors. The move comes as trade tensions with the United States ramp back up. Former federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is being considered for the top job at Destination Canada, the country's national tourism marketing organization. The compensation for the CEO of the Crown Corporation is between $226,000 and $266,000 per year. Singh served as NDP leader from 2017 to 2025. In 2025, he led the NDP to its worst election result in party history and resigned as leader. Singh has not responded to requests for comment from CTV News. The Alberta government is spending more than $1 million to help Clearwater County recover from 2 tornadoes. On Saturday, 2 EF2 tornadoes touched down between Rocky Mountain House and Leslieville. They caused significant damage. 50 properties were affected, damaging homes, trees, and scattering debris. Finance Minister Jason Nixon says the money is a one-time grant under the Disaster and Emergency Assistance Funding Program. Details of the funding agreement are being finalized between the province and Clearwater County. If you're heading out to the mountain parks this long weekend, there are some fire restrictions in place. Fire bans are now in effect for Banff, Yoho, and Kootenay National Parks until further notice. The ban covers campfires, barbecues, outdoor wood stoves, or fryers, tiki torches, and candles. You can still use propane fire pits, stoves, barbecues, heaters, and lanterns. Anyone with a fire permit will automatically be refunded. Jasper is still under a fire restriction. You must use the designated metal fire pits at campsites. The ongoing hot and dry conditions led to the ban. Fines will be given to people who break it. For more information, go to albertafirebans.ca. A local author is meeting readers in Red Deer after her debut novel reached a bestsellers list. Melissa Poet is signing copies of her book at the Red Deer Indigo next week. The Enemy's Daughter is a young adult retelling of the medieval legend of Tristan and Isolde with a magical dystopian twist. Poet says she was surprised to see the book rise on the international charts. The Enemy's Daughter is now a popular pick in Germany, the United States, and the UK.
I didn't spend a lot of time selling it locally because it was selling around the world in like 77 countries. And so I have done a couple events in Red Deer, but the majority of my focus has been the US and the UK, where my two publishers are based. And so I haven't spread the word very much that I'm local and an international bestseller.
The book signing is next Saturday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Poet's second book, A Thief to Die For, comes out in November. It's another reimagining of a medieval legend, Robin Hood. Still ahead, a summer camp designed to give kids an edge in the automation industry.
There's going to be more and more robots in all of our spaces, and it's going to be a very valuable skill.
They might be taking over the world. Nah.
Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you tonight on CTV.
Students in grades 6 through 9 are learning a skill for the future at Norquest College. The program aims to introduce kids to robotics to give them an edge on the emerging automation industry. Noah Rashog reports.
Honestly, they might be taking over the world. Nah.
Young Nicholas's robot isn't taking over the world anytime soon. But watch out, it can almost pick up a pencil. Just over a dozen students have been at Norquest College all week, learning the ins and outs of robotics.
There's going to be more and more robots in all of our spaces, and it's going to be a very valuable skill to, first off, even just know how they work, know how they're used before and what their limitations are. And it's a great opportunity, especially at this age. I would have loved a camp like this.
They brought in experts in the field to train the kids. Instructor Salah Suleiman joined a robotics camp as a kid, similar to this one in Cairo, Egypt. She's since started a career in this field.
Though some of the kids may not realize it now, but I'm sure they'll benefit from it in the future. Maybe even one part, 1 minute, one section of the camp would be one of the drivers for them and benefit them as the previous camp that I attended benefited me.
Earlier in the week, the students were programming their robots and 3D printing the parts.
It was really good because we can design our own stuff and maybe design stuff for other people.
Now, it's time to build.
Building this has been super fun because I can now learn and make my own stuff.
They may seem simple, but these robot arms are showing these students a career in robotics is within reach. Noah Rashog, CTV News, Edmonton.
All right, another look at your forecast for the upcoming long weekend. It's not all bad. 27 tomorrow, it looks pretty good. Sunshine in the afternoon. 29 on Saturday. It's going to be a hot one Saturday. We could hit 30. There might be a little bit of a haze that moves through the area. And then some storms in the evening. Wet, windy, and cooler for Sunday, but some clearing on Monday. In a high of about 21 or 22. So, something for everybody there. If you want some rain, you like Sunday. You want
why
some
not?
wind,
Bring it on.
Sunday.
More rain. No, more rain.
29 is too hot. You got Monday. Trying to please everybody.
Thanks, Josh. And thank you very much for sharing your time with us. Have a great evening, everyone. Well done, Josh.